Happy Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for? I'm thankful for a lot of stuff, a lot of things. I'm definitely thankful for God, for what He's done and what He's about to do. That's coming up next on Reality of God. Hello everyone out there, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Reality of God. Happy Thanksgiving. It is Thanksgiving Day. Well, actually it's night now. We're on the farm. And as you can see, you probably see it. I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but there's a few snow flurries coming down. So we have a big lake effect snow thing happening. This will be my, it's been like, gosh, I don't know, a long time that I've experienced lake effect snow. So
that's shocking.
Yeah, so this is kind of a cool thing. It's going to look like a winter wonderland around here, which is, you know, what we needed, I think. But anyways, so it's Thanksgiving Day, and as you guys have spent time with your family, this is one of the first Thanksgivings I've ever spent by myself. Now, don't feel sorry for me. I'm actually quite thankful that, you know, I got to have a little alone time for Thanksgiving, and there's a reason why is, you know, growing up, I had a pretty big family. You know, my parents pretty much hosted Thanksgiving every year, and my mom is like an amazing cook. So I know she's watching, so she knows, and my dad even agrees. But we had a big family, and we had a lot of relatives that would come over, and cousins and uncles and aunts, and even people that I barely knew. Like my dad would just bring people randomly to the house.
You surprised?
When he was working at a car lot, and which was the heart of my dad. My dad was just he's a very generous, loving person.
Really? That's sweet.
And the fact that he just brings, you know, people he barely knows over to the house for Thanksgiving was just him. That was just who he was. I shouldn't say was, because he's still alive. So sorry, Dad. I know you're still alive and doing well. But that's you know how I grew up. I grew up in a very loving home, very should I say open, very open home. I mean, they're open to anyone. I mean, my dad would, and my mom and dad would, you know, just do anything for people, and that's the nice thing. And you know, feed. One thing my dad loves to do is just feed people. I mean, you know, just neighbors, anybody that has come over and he's offering them food. That's an Italian thing, by the way. A very Italian thing to do is to feed people. But that's, again, you know, that's just who he is. And, you know, I love my parents very much. I'm very thankful that I had parents like that, parents to raise me to know Jesus Christ. I grew up in that environment. I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful for the family I got to grow up in. I'm very appreciative of that. I thank God every day that I was able to be born, you know, into that factor, and the fact that I got to be born in America, which is another great thing to be thankful for, because America is about to prosper like we've never seen before. America is about to experience a revival that we've never seen before, and I'm very thankful for that. But most importantly, the number one thing I'm mostly thankful for is definitely having Jesus Christ in my life. Yes! I could not survive without Jesus, without the Lord in my life, without His interaction in me that happened back in 2009. So it's been 15 years now, and it changed my life forever, even though I grew up in it. And I went to the youth groups. I went to the camps and everything, growing up in church, growing up a pastor's kid. I went to those things, but I never truly felt God until then. And that was like a great experience for me. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful that God is very much part of my life. So always, you know, give thanks unto the Lord. I think it was 1 Thessalonians 5:18. That is a very good verse about thanks and giving thanks to God. So, you know, it's a lot to be thankful for. But most importantly, I'm very thankful for what this year has become. I'm looking back. I'm just thinking back how the last 4 years have been. And I kind of did a flashback to 2020 and compared it to this year being, 2024. 2020 was the year from hell.
Oh my gosh, does that suck?
I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely a year. I think it was a year, and that, you think about 2020, you think about, perfect vision. 2020 means perfect vision. And sorry, it's cold, so my nose is running, so bear with me here.
Come on, stop whining.
But I want to be outside anyway, so. But 2020, what did we have in 2020? We had the pandemic, which turned out to be just basically the common cold, the flu. That's all it was. And they just raised it or escale, or what's the word I'm looking for? They escalated it. There we go. Escalated it to what it was, which, now, it's still everybody's like, I have COVID. Now you have like allergies, but it's COVID. Everything was COVID. I remember that. And we had to wear the mask, and we had to go 6 feet apart, and then and it was mandated. Remember the mandates and all that. And the church is closing. That was heartbreaking because hardly any churches, stood against this BS that was going on in 2020. And then we had the riots. And I think a lot of that had to do with just, I go back and I look and I'm like, the churches could have been open because they kept the shopping places open. They kept everything open, but not the churches. And a lot of pastors, are like, oh, okay, we'll do what we said. We don't want to lose my tax, whatever it's called. It says C930, whatever it's called. I don't know, but it's that they didn't want to lose their tax status. They didn't want to lose any of that. And there were threats and there were things, and governments were just. We had a taste of socialism in this country back in 2020. We really did. We had a taste of it. And it was not a good taste. We were under scrutiny. We were under, we were under the influence of the media. The media was like propagandizing everything, including, COVID and things like that. And all for the purpose of the election. That was like the election that was stolen. And I'm saying it, the election was for sure, definitely 100,000% stolen. And no matter what, we're always going to go back to that. But because of 2024, and I think finally the people just said, it's all I can stand, I can't stand no more. By the way, who said that? That was Popeye back in the old cartoon days. Popeye used to say, this is all I can stand, I can't stand no more. I think the people finally just said they're fed up. We're done. And as they tried to push COVID, they tried to push, riots, but we, the people, and the Christians and the church finally stood up. Not everybody, of course, but most people did. And I think a good majority in which God has really said that, all right, finally, you guys, I think, are getting the picture, finally getting, the grasp of what is going on. I think people realize that, especially this year. We're seeing a culture change. We went from woke culture in 2020. Do you remember just how they tried to, and through the last 4 years, bringing in the whole propaganda to the schools, messing our children up. And that's the key is, and I saw it firsthand as a gymnastics coach. I saw it with kids, how they were thinking, what they were saying. It was a mess. It was bad. And it was like, 2020, 2021, all through, 2022, we just saw all this, And it's just now, now you could just tell who really is, who really is a woke person. You could just by looking at them, you can tell they're woke. And especially if they're, if they're still in a mask, for crying out loud. Now, I get it. There's people out there who do need to wear a mask that, have like asthma and have like things like that. I get that, I'm not like bashing you people. I think you, if you want to wear a mask, by all means, it's a free country, wear one.
Thank you.
I just didn't like the mandates. I did not want any mandates, and there was too many mandates, and it just got ridiculous. So, I looked at 2024, and I believe that there is a new culture that just started, the MAGA culture. People have woken up. People have realized that what the whole agenda was. Our media has switched over. We have got the opposite media. People started like going to the other media sites, which was the social media sites and the podcasts and so forth. And I want to be part of that. I'm part of that, alternate media people, even though I'm not really a media person, but I'm just a guy with a camera and making videos. That's all I am, who had a dream. And the dream was that everything that I thought was the case wasn't, but I digress.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Anyways, the whole culture, I believe, is changing. We're changing into a patriotic MAGA culture, and I'm seeing it. We're seeing it. Of course, not everywhere, but, I'm seeing it, just people and everything that has become the opposite of what 2020 was. People have finally been knocked around so many times that they're finally saying, no, we're not putting this up anymore. And that includes, Democrats. That includes people who are devout Democrats. I mean, and that includes people of color, people of, their sexual orientation. It didn't matter anymore. People just want America the way it was meant to be, free, a free country. And in 2020, we had a taste of socialism. We really did. Being locked in our homes, not being able to go to church, not being able to, there was places you couldn't even like go and just go to the park. I mean, it was horrible. But the bottom line is this. There's a big change coming. We still have work to do. I mean, there's no question about that. We still have a lot of work to do. We still have a lot of things we need to accomplish. And there's still some people who do need to wake up, because there's still people out there who, just need the Lord for one thing. I mean, we really need to just pray for a biggest revival that we've ever seen, which is coming. But I think compared to 2020, we're finally 4 years later. We're finally where we're at. We're going to have Trump back into office. We're going to have a red, let's say a majority in the Senate, a majority in the House. Now we need to just get to the rhinos. You know what I mean? Sorry if I got a runny nose. It's cold. It's brisk. It's cold. But I love it. This is my kind of weather. But the one thing that I am so thankful for is that I'm thankful that we're finally here. We're finally made it to the point I've been talking about for the last 2 years on this channel of what God's true movement is going to be. We got the MAGA movement, and we're going to have a Christian movement. I believe we're going to see prayer brought back into public schools. I believe we're going to see it in, public places. It just, this is the thing we need, the awakening that we've needed for so long, for so many years. And, what's a anti-war, environmental, well, I wouldn't say I'm like a tree hugger or anything, but I'm definitely for a clean environment. What's an anti-war, clean environment, nature boy, hippie being a MAGA person is, because MAGA is all of that. The hippie movement of the 60s, the anti-war movement and all that. I would say the MAGA movement in a nutshell. I mean, goodness gracious, Robert F. Kennedy. We have a Kennedy on our side, you know, even though I think we would have had JFK and all them on our side too. But we actually have a true Kennedy who is going to be taking over the Department of Health. And that's huge. That's huge. So I'm just really excited about what is going to take place. It's going to be some rough patches, I think, in the next month or so, especially right around inauguration time, right around January 6th. We're going to go through that, but I think it's going to be I would call exposure of who truly is the instigators of all the violence and all of everything that is going on. I believe we're going to see a lot of that. I believe we're going to see a lot of these things take place. And is anything to fear? Absolutely not. Because as long as you are with the Lord, as long as you are saved, you stay with the Lord and you pray, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine for the righteous. It's going to be scary and judgmental for the wicked. So if you're part of that wicked line, I'd have a lot to worry about. I'd be on my knees repenting right now. So
repent, and thou shalt be saved.
It's kind of a big thing. But this Thanksgiving, I want to give everyone out there a shout out to all my family who are watching. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I'm very blessed to have you as my family, and especially for my mom and dad, who are just wonderful people that have been they're so open and so kind. They just have a good heart for people. And, you know, that's how I grew up. And that's how I was raised. And that's what I believed in, you know, just to be that light. So we are the light of the world. We are the salt of the earth. My parents were light and salt all through their lives. And there's going to be rewards in heaven for them. There's no question about that. And also my uncles and aunts and so forth, and many who are going to, you know, get abundant rewards from God. So that's the wonderful thing. And I'm very excited and very thankful that I got to be raised in that. So anyways, God bless all of you. Please like, share, subscribe. I've been getting more views on this channel, and that's wonderful. I'm going to get more subscribers. Let's keep this channel moving. We're on a mission. That's what I'm planning here, and I'm excited for the new year that's coming. So a lot of plans I have this new year, and we're going to see how it all pans out. Anyways, that's going to be my video for today on Thanksgiving Day. God bless all of you. See you in the next video. If you don't know Jesus, get to know him. Ask him to forgive you of your sins, and he will touch your heart, and he will change your life. God bless all of you. Bye for now.